Okay, what is up, you guys? Happy Wednesday. Welcome to our Team Vibe with Me Coach Call. So I'm going to just riff here on, I watched a really great video and I was inspired by it and I want to share it with you guys. So make sure you take notes. When I watch something, I take notes on it because it helps me to reference back to it, but also it gives me training material for you guys. And if you're in this saying that you want to build a tribe of women, you want to build a team, something like a bump in the road you can come up to is, well, what do I say? What do I talk about on team calls? What do I train people on? You can watch training videos, yes, but like your team's going to rather hear from, they're going to want to hear it from you, right? So you'll get a lot more response, you'll get a lot more people tuning in if it's your face sharing the information versus if you just share the video. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I like to come in and speak it right to you guys. So that's what I'm doing. I watched this really great video on how to improve your invites to challenge groups. And with it being the beginning of the month, you know, it's a perfect time to start implementing some of these things. That's something that I've committed to myself. Because I'm doing really good at my personal development, reading books, listening to podcasts, but I've kind of stepped away from beach body training. So what I'm trying to do is every day watch a new training video and maybe I take a nugget from it or not, you know, like you don't have to apply everything, but I've stopped applying anything that other successful coaches are doing. So that's a wake-up call and something I'm going to start doing going forward. And this is a really great call that I learned. I took like 2 pages of notes on here. So first thing is, so how to improve your invites to a challenge group. Make sure you have a pen and paper and make sure you write this down. Number 1 is have a plan. So what does that mean? When's the date of your next boot camp? Do you know that? Do you know, like, when you set a group, are you already thinking about when your next one is? Like, are you already planning for that? What is the group called? Like, what's the name of it? What's the program that you're going to be helping people with? What's the program you're going to be doing? Because you don't always have to, like, of course, it's amazing when you do the same program as everybody in your group, but you don't always have to. Like right now, I'm doing 80-day obsession, but I'm going to be focusing on morning meltdown, right? So have a plan. Like, when's the start date of your next boot camp? What is it going to be called? What's the program that you're going to be running people through? What's the program you're going to be doing? How many people do you want in it? That's also a really huge thing. So you can already start thinking like how many people you want to attract, and then you can reverse engineer it and figure out, well, what do you actually have to do? How many people do you have to talk to? How many people do you have to invite in order to get there? If you are looking to get Success Club 5, so that means you're looking to help 3 people in a month, you need to be talking to like a minimum of 20 people a week in order to get that. It's all a numbers game. So if you talk to 3 people in 1 week, chances are none of them are going to sign up. And then you've only focused on 3 people your entire week or your entire month, and you're going to end up with 0. So by the law of averages, if you are talking to 20 people, if you invite 20 people, chances are you're going to hear a response back from like 10 of them asking for more info. 10 of them are probably going to ghost you. And out of those 10 people, maybe like 3 people are actually going to sign up, if that, like 1 to 3 people, I would say. So you need to be talking to more people, and you need to have an idea of how many people you want in your group, because then you're going to put out that intention that, like, it shows people that you're serious. That's the other thing too. Because if you just leave it open-ended and you don't create that sense of urgency by having a date and you say, hey, join me, like, you're going to do this with me? Cool. Like, click the link here. Oh, like, you're just leaving it open-ended, and you establish yourself more as a leader when you set a date. You stick to that date. You set like the number of people that you want. And one thing that I see a lot of people doing really well, and I do this once in a while, but I'm going to be more diligent with it, is actually putting, like, it takes 2 seconds. I use PixArt, which is a free phone app, and I just use whatever backgrounds they have, and I just put numbers on it, like 1 to 10, and I start filling in people's names as they go, right? And it's just showing people that you are serious about this. You have a list. You have, oh, hey, girl. Hey. I'm just going to mute you here because I was just riffing. Okay, so, and then you just put numbers like 1 to 10 or however many people you want in your group there, and you fill in those names because it shows people that you're serious. It shows people, like, especially as you're signing people up, it shows that you actually are helping people, right? So that's one thing, is having a plan. Number 2 is thinking about who do you want in it. Because as we know, if you're speaking to everyone, you're speaking to nobody. So I want you to really think about, like, who do you want to help? And how. And basically what that comes down to, if you're struggling to figure that out, the easiest way to think about is, who were you? Where were you at? What were you looking for before you found me, before you found Beachbody? Because you can only help people to do things that you have already done, right? So you know exactly who your ideal person is, because your ideal person is you. It's who you were before you got to where you are now. Like, people, they want to sign up with someone who is real, who is like, that isn't too far ahead of them, you know, that it seems unreachable. So really what you're doing as a coach is, you're not being the super duper expert, but, or like superhuman, like superhero coach. You're just being a person who's been where they are, and you found a solution. You're just a couple steps ahead of them, but you're still ahead of them. That's the thing. You're still leading the way. You're still a few steps ahead of them, so you can show them how to get to where they are now, to where you are now, because you've done it, right? So think about who you want to help, and how. How will your group help them? That's a huge thing too, is when you're like talking on your stories or making a post, like, and when you're talking about it, saying like, what is in it for them? Because that's what people care about. That's all they care about, is what is in it for them. How is this going to help them? So let them know that. So I just recently made a post on my Instagram stories where I had a couple who reach out to me, because I said, like, straight up, I'm looking for 10 women who want to do this, this, and this. We're sick and tired of this, this, and this. Like, I spelt it all out, and it spoke to people. So when you get super duper clear on who you want to help, who you are here for, how you're going to help them, what your group is for, you're going to have people reaching out to you more often, because they're going to be like, whoa, that is me, right? So don't chase the people. Oh, that was just a side note that I meant. But, oh, that was the other thing too. So like, so when you're creating a group, like, you have to figure out who you're here to help, right? Who you are speaking to. Don't speak to the same people that like, don't try and copy what I'm doing. Use it as inspiration and duplication and motivation. But like, the way that I advertise my groups, like, we're different people, you know, like, we're gonna attract different people. We're gonna do things differently. So I really want to encourage your individuality in this, because your people will sign up with you for a reason. Yes, you signed up with me because you saw something within me, but like, you're still your own person. You are not me, right? So for example, like, if you run a self-love and badass bodies boot camp, and you are like, you just copy and paste everything that I'm doing, it might not resonate with the people that you're working with, you know, because it's not authentic to you. You're just copy and pasting. People are going to feel that, right? So you have to build a group based on like what you are trying to accomplish for yourself. Like me, I'm trying to find my abs right now. That's where I'm at in my journey right now, is I'm trying to get definition. I'm trying to get lean as fuck. Not everyone is trying to do that. You know, like, some people are just some people are trying to lose 20 pounds. Some people are trying to lose 30 pounds. Some people are just trying to finish a program and commit to finishing something, you know? Some people are trying to lose the baby weight. Like, wherever you're at in your journey and whatever you are trying to accomplish, that's what you're going to speak about your group. That's what you're going to advertise that you're going to do in your group. That is what your group is going to help these people to do, right? Does that make sense? So that was number 2. Number 1 is have a plan. Number 2 is, who do you want in it? And build your invites that are tailored to like whatever your end goal is. That's what your invite is going to tell people, that's what you're going to get if you sign up for this, right? And then, so this was a little sample here of an invite that, put it in your own words, but I kind of put it in my own words here. So when I see that people are like, I'm going to send this out to people who are following my stories. And when I do an invite story like I did yesterday, I pay attention to all the people who stayed through to the very end. And those are the people that I'm going to send messages to. People who are liking or commenting on my photo. When I make a post that is a transformation photo or an invitation photo or something, I'm going to pay attention to who likes that. And that's who I'm going to reach out to. And this is what I'm going to say to them. Excuse me. Hey girl, it's July. What do you have planned this month? If I were to help align you to a meal plan and a workout plan, to a meal and workout plan to help you work on your goals without sacrificing. Hey girlfriend. Okay, I'll start that over. So, hey girl, I always say their name too. Like, So I'll just use, because Steph just jumped on. Hey, Steph, it's July. What do you have planned for this month, girlfriend? If I were to help align you to a meal and workout plan to help you work on your goals without sacrifice living your life this summer, would you want to hold each other accountable for 21 days, 30 days, or however long, and go through that together? So this is a style of inviting that I haven't really tried before. I usually would say, hey, I'm running this group and we're doing this, this, and this. Would you be open to learning more info on it? Like, that's how I usually invite. So I'm interested to see how this goes. You know, it's something new. Like, if you are doing the same thing and not getting and you're getting the same results, which is nothing, that means it's time to change it up. So I've been doing the same invite for a while and it hasn't really been sticking. So it's time to change it up. And I'm going to give this a try. So the third thing here is you have to have the belief. You have to have belief in yourself. You have to have belief in what you offer as a coach and what these programs can offer. Like, we're all doing these programs all the time. So we know that. We know that they work. We know that the benefit it can have in your mental space, your physical body, in your whole life, your energy, everything, when you show up and you do these. So why is it that as soon as we put on that coach hat, we get scared to talk about it? We lose that belief, right? There's really no difference. There really isn't, as you being someone who, like, so if you were doing these workouts on your own anyways and you weren't a coach and people would say, oh my God, like, something is different with you. What's going on? You'd be like, I think it's these workouts. I started drinking the shake. I'm finally learning how to eat. I don't know. I think all of it together, it's really helped me and I actually feel a lot better. It's really pretty amazing. What's the difference? Nothing. All it is the title of coach, and all of a sudden people get scared to talk about it. So you have to keep that belief in the fact that these products and programs are awesome on their own, yes. But what's even better is having the support of you, someone who has been there, done that, made their way through it, or someone who is currently going through it and can be that accountability partner to hold their hand and take them through it as well. Like I said, you don't have to be a superhuman coach. You just have to be someone who started, someone who is leading the way, and you're just a couple steps ahead of them. Because no matter what, you are a couple steps ahead of that person who is looking in on the other side, struggling, wondering how you're doing it, but they see you as an inspiration because you're doing it. So see yourself in their eyes. Like, I think we so easily get ourselves down because we're like, oh, you compare yourself to like me or to Amanda or Danielle Natoni, and you're like, I'm not as good as them. Like, they're so much more committed than I am. Who the fuck cares? You know, like, you're as committed as you are, you know, like, you're at your level and that is relatable to you. And there are people who look at Danielle Natoni and go, fuck, like, she's not the type of person for me. Like, I need someone who can give me a little more leeway and a little more real, you know? Like, I love Danielle, but like, I didn't sign up with her for a reason, you know? Like, she's not my personal coach, right? Amanda is, because Amanda is a badass and shows up for herself in her workouts and it's like non-negotiable, but girl still eats pizza. Like, she still like prioritizes her body and like listens to her body and rests when she needs, which, yeah, Danielle kind of does too, but I just don't vibe the same way with her. And your people will vibe the same way with you. And you need to have belief in yourself to be that person for other people. So do whatever you have to do to create that belief. Look yourself in the mirror and pump. Like, I say this, I've said this on calls before and I know it's funny, but like, seriously, look at yourself in the mirror and give yourself some compliments, honey, because that's what you need. You need that belief. You need to see yourself in another person's eyes, like in the other person on the side of the screen who is doing nothing right now and they're looking at you doing something, or all of the things, right? So having belief is number 3 here. Number 4, envision your avatar. So this is kind of a little bit of touch off. Number 2 here is who do you want in your group, but really envision your avatar and who are you trying to talk to. And again, that's basically just like who you were before you found this, because really honing in on that person. And I have it here, but like, because I really had to think about it. Like, I've seen this post go around a few times. I've seen like Raina post it, and like and I've seen a couple coaches say like, I'm looking for women only. And then they put this like paragraph. And I've seen a lot of people copy and paste like the exact same paragraph, but I was like, I need to tailor this to my people. So I just changed it a little bit to make it, I thought of exactly the things that I was looking for when I was getting started. And it was this. So looking for 10 women who want to transform their bodies, learn how to still enjoy the foods that they love without restricting themselves, starving themselves, and still being able to get the results they desire. Open to women who are sick and tired of feeling sick and tired, want to get out of a plateau, lose 5 to 20 pounds, and get into the best shape of their lives, physically and mentally. And I said, you will be provided with a 30-day meal plan, workouts to follow, tons of recipes, daily challenges where you can earn prizes. You will be added to a private group where our team will provide accountability, support, motivation, friendship, and fun. Are you ready to invest in yourself? So what I did in that invite is I explained exactly, I covered their problem. I said who I was looking for, 10 women, women only. So that tells people right there, like if you're a guy, scroll on past, this is not for you. I'm looking for 10 women. And then I explained like what they want, like what they need, what their problem is, what they're struggling with, and saying that this group will help you do this, this, and this. If you struggle with this, this, and this is the group for you, right? And then I just told them flat out what they're gonna get. Because I don't, like, this is my way of kind of streamlining past all of the like word vomit. Like I'm still gonna send them info on the actual program, but this is telling them right up front what they're getting is 30-day meal plan, workouts, recipes, blah, 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 and all that stuff, motivation, support, you're gonna be in a group. And then what I also did that's really important is one thing that I'm really focusing on is, and I think that this is number 5 here, but I've started to like, so number 5 is squashing the objections, like right up front. And that's what I've really started to do, because what's a huge objection? The price objection. So right here, I am saying like, I'm looking for women, are you ready to invest in yourself? And I've been using that word, like, are you ready to invest in yourself? And then I also had another picture that I posted when I said, because another thing people say, don't have the time, don't have the money. So I made another little like post here on my stories, and I said, you will never have the time unless you decide to make the time. You will never have the money for it unless you decide you are worth investing in. So I'm slashing the objections right up front, and I'm telling people I'm no bullshit about this, and I'm calling you out on your bullshit excuses, because that's what they are. So that's one thing I'm really working on. Another thing I did, so like the other day I made a post about Allison and I being coaches, and I said like we invested, what did I say about coaching? I said, we jumped in with 2 feet. We invested time and money into ourselves to grow ourselves instead of wasting it on things that didn't enrich our lives, even when we didn't really have the extra time and money lying around, because we did, but we did it anyways because we believed in ourselves and we believed in each other. So like, I'm just calling it out, and I've been starting to say in my posts, like when I first started, I didn't have the money for this either, but I found the money. I figured it out, and like I'm finding ways to like slash the objections right away, right in my post, so that when they can read it, they can see like the whole thing. If she can do it, so can I. Like, wow, she used to struggle too. Because people are gonna only see where you are right now, and you make it look easy. You make it look like, I think people see like, they see it and they're like, oh, they drink Shakeology because they're coaches. Like they have to, you know? So we have to start showing people that we actually enjoy drinking this. It actually does have benefits aside from like, we drink it because we're coaches, you know, like start highlighting. So I've gotten away from it a little bit. So gut check to get myself to start doing it again is when I make my shake, I post on my story a picture of me with it, and I do an ingredient spotlight, and I share what an ingredient is from Shakeology and the benefits of it. I did it the other day too with Energize, because Energize has a lot of really amazing ingredients in it that aren't in normal pre-workouts. Like things that, like there's antioxidants. What pre-workout has antioxidants in it? What pre-workout has like, just all you have to do is a quick Google search on what the ingredients are, and you'll be like, holy shit, like it actually does that. Like the potassium, the calcium, like when you actually learn about what these things do in your body for your workout, like the potassium and calcium help you to not burn out faster, help you to not get that lactic acid build up. So if you're doing a heavy workout and you feel yourself kind of slacking as you get midway through or closer to the end, like Energize, having that at the beginning of your workout helps you to not crash and burn. It helps you to, like it's been scientifically tested to enhance your workouts. So we need to start talking about that stuff. Like if you're not a sciencey type of person, that's fine, put it in your own words, but like I totally geek out over this stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna start talking about it more, like talking about these ingredients. I've been doing a lot of focus on my own time to learn about ingredients in food. And I'm reading this book. It's like about like being healthier. It's like a dictionary for any problem that you could have. You go to the page and it tells you like helpful hints, like foods, supplements you should be taking. Like I'm learning so much stuff right now that I'm like so geeking out about it. And I need to share more about that. So another gut check for me to share more about it. But like, if you're learning on something on the side, share about it because you have more knowledge, most likely than the person who's on the outside looking in. And again, when we put that coach hat on, we feel like we have to be only Beachbody. That's all we have to talk about. But no, like you are more than Beachbody. Like Beachbody didn't write this book for me. No, like Beachbody isn't the host of this just ingredients page that I'm following on where I'm learning all about organic and clean products. Like no, that has nothing to do with Beachbody. That has everything to do with me living a better life for myself, and I can give value to people based off of that. And that was a total rant. I just realized I'm like, what was I even talking about? But I was talking about squashing objections. Wow, how did I even get there? Anyways, Shakeology, that's how I was talking about Shakeology and all that stuff, like squashing the objection right off the bat. Like I have a post written out, like, so if I have an idea coming to my mind, I've been writing it down in my notes section so I can make a post out of it. And bless you. And one of them was like, okay, you guys think about it. A pair of Lululemon leggings, Canadian prices, is like $150. What is the same? What costs $150? Shakeology. So right there, you guys, I was like, oh my God, I can make this into a post and just right there say that for the price of a Lululemon pants, like that's like the price of a challenge pack, or like you can work for me, you can work with me for a whole year. You can work with me for 30 days for the price of a pair of Lululemon pants. Like how crazy is that, you know? So little parallels like that, those are gonna be really great ways to like squash objections and just change people's mindsets, because we have to remember they're just looking at the price. They're just looking at the number. They don't know the value that we know from this. So another thing that I've been putting is like the results or refund. And that's something that even like, that's what Carl talked about in, at the New Leader Conference, was he was even saying like, promote the fact that like we want to get people results, or we're going to give them their money back. Like tell them that honestly, because that's what it is. And I feel like people don't believe that for some reason, but it's true. Even like Autumn in the Ultimate Portion Fix video, she says that at the end of it, like, I don't know any other company that does this, but we're serious about it. Results or refund. So that's another way to like squash the objection right there, is I let people know, like, I know it's scary to invest your money, but like you can actually do this for 30 days, return it all and get all your money back. And like, I doubt you will, but like, you know, that option is there for you. And it depends on how you say it to people. Like I've said it to people like that and it's worked, because I'm like, literally, you can do the whole thing for 30 days, return it all, get your money back. If you're still scared and you need money at the end of the month that bad, do it. I don't care, but at least you felt the benefit and at least you felt some sort of change over these past 30 days, right? It's usually what happens once they try it, they don't return it and they keep going, right? So squash the objection right out the gate. Like start writing down all of the objections that you get and all the reasons, and start talking about it on your stories, on your posts, and relating to it. Because like when you guys first signed up with me, you probably had objections too. So think about that. Like the type of people you're talking to are your people, right? So they're probably gonna have the same objections you did. Like I remember I had a price objection about Shakeology when I first started, you know, like we all do pretty much, until we tried and we're like, whoa. So squashing it right up out of the gate. And then, so the last thing was just a challenge here, something that I'm going to take on as well, get my booty going with. So the challenge for July, right, is the sixth month of the year. So let's shoot for trying to, this is going to sound crazy, okay, trying to get into 60 inboxes a day. Now, hear me out. So that could be like, if you are watching someone's story and you just send them a message and say, oh my God, like you're at that, like you're eating that ice cream. I love that ice cream too. And that's it. That's one, you know? Or it could be someone who comments on your post and you send them a message and say, thanks for commenting. That's it. That's two, you know, like throughout the day, you know? So maybe you do like 20 in the morning, 20 in the afternoon, 20 at night. I know it's a big, scary goal. Even for me, I'm like, holy shit, 60 is a lot. But it's a goal, right? Like, it's something to shoot towards. Because if you shoot for 6 and you do that, like, cool, you did that. But like, you're selling yourself short if you set that small goal. Worst comes to worst, when you set a big goal, is you actually hit it or you come up short. So if you set your goal for 60, but you come up short and you only get 30, that's still 30 more than you would have gotten if you only had a goal of like 10 or 6, you know? So it's another great book that I've been wanting to read, again, is called The 10X Rule. And that's exactly what he talks about, is at least you're setting your goals to be bigger so you can dream bigger. Because one day you will be able to do those 60 invites, but at least you are moving yourself closer and closer towards it, versus if you were selling yourself short at only 6 a day, right? So yeah, getting into 60 inboxes a day. So that could be, the way you can find that is starting with your followers. So going to A to Z and ask, what do they need? So reaching out to your followers and just saying like, hey, I saw we've been following each other for a while, or like, I just want to say thank you for tuning in, and I'm taking the time to reach out to everybody here and just ask, like, what brings you to my page, and is there anything more that I can do to help you feel supported, or like pump you up, or teach you something, or something that you can get more out of my page every day? What's the harm in asking that question, right? You're not asking them to buy anything from you. You're not like selling anything. You're just opening the door for a conversation, and you're showing people that you care to talk to them, right? So I thought that was a really great idea. Just asking them, what do they need? So that's one area you can find people. And it doesn't have to be A to Z, like throughout the whole day. Like maybe you just start with your A followers today. Then tomorrow you do your B followers, something like that. And what that means is you just go to your profile here and you click on like followers right in the center there. And when you click on that, there's a search button at the top, and you just type in A, and it'll drop down all of your followers that start with an A, and just go through like that, you know? And then continue, like it opens up the door, and you just continue to build that relationship, right? Until like either the natural invite comes up or it doesn't, but at least you're planting that seed and you're showing them that you're there for them, so that when, even if you don't invite, when they do need help, they're gonna think about you, because they're gonna think of you being the person who actually reached out to care and take that extra time. So the other thing is the IG story followers, so people who are following your stories. If you create create little easy polls to interact with people, or like the questionnaire kind of thing that are just fun. And if anyone who like gets the question wrong or something, you reach out to them and like laugh about it. If they like, oh, you thought it was that, like, you know, like just anything stupid and little, it doesn't have to be huge. Or you could be like, did you get your workout in today? Yes or no. And for anyone who puts no, send them a message and say, why not? And anyone who says yes, send them a message and say, congratulations. And right there, you're gonna get like, depending on how many people click on it, there's like 10 different people possibly, or more. And boom, like you're getting closer and closer to those 60 inboxes, those 60 connections a day. The next thing is people who like your post, so sending them a message and saying thank you. What did you like about it? If it was a challenge group post or something, like you can start a conversation on that. Yeah, so, and one way that you can keep track of it, like what I do is I use Google Streak to keep track of everything, but I also write everything down. So when I'm having like, for each month, I'll write down on a piece of paper, but for all like intricate details and like when people are answering questions about their life and stuff, I write all that stuff down into my Google Streak. So what I'll do is I'll write their name down on a piece of paper. And then I will put, like, when I connected with them, I'll just put like an arrow and put connected July 3rd. And then I'll just leave it as that. And then whatever conversation we're having, I'm typing that into Google Streak. And then once I've invited them, I write down next to it, invite. When I follow up, I write down follow up. So on the piece of paper, it's just short. Connected, invite, follow up, final follow up, not interested. Like it's just super short, and it's just a way for me to, I'm a pen and paper person, but I know that things get lost in the long term when it's only on pen to paper, at least for me. So that's why I have to have that extra of Google Streak for like when I can go back and I can follow up with people from last year. Like that's where it comes in handy with the Google Streak. And I can see what we talked about, what was going on, instead of writing paragraphs on a paper here of where they work, where they're from, what they struggle with, all that stuff. So that's a great way to keep track of it, is anytime you send a message, write their name down, put connected or contacted, whatever. And then when they message you back, you can put like a circle around it or something so you know that they messaged you back. When you send them the info, you can like put a star next to it, or you can write out invited, something like that. Okay, so that's a little challenge there, and I'm going to challenge us because we leave for Summit on, you guys are going to still be here, so y'all can still do this going forward, but we leave for Summit on Wednesday, so what I'm gonna do is, starting today, I'm gonna do it all the way until next Wednesday and like really focus on committing to it for the next few days and see what happens. Just see what happens, you know, like getting into 60 inboxes a day. And again, like it doesn't all have to be invites, like just focus on those connections and keep track of them, and let's just see what happens. See what happens at the end of it all.
Yep, and I've been so busy I haven't been able to, I've been posting and stuff like that on my stories, and I just haven't been reaching out to a lot of people, so like I should be doing. Having little conversations like with some girls like that I've already kind of started, you know, conversations with that are interested, but no new people and no follow-ups and, you know, things like that. So I definitely need to get on that. So,
this is coming at the perfect time, yeah. Because that's the thing, like even for me, like you can only cycle through your follow-ups for so long, right? And then eventually, like you just gotta kind of like let them go for another few months and going forward. So it is so important to keep having those new connections. So even this challenge comes at a great time for me. And what I like about it is the ask what they need, because it takes the pressure off of like, what do I have to talk to these people about? You're just openly saying like, what can I do to help you? Like you're watching me every day. What can I do to add more value? And I think that's a fun question to ask, instead of like, I hate small talk. I think the reason why I have been like sucking at sending new conversations and starting new conversations is because I hate asking like, where are you from? What do you do? Like, I fucking hate that stuff. So this is this excites me to start a conversation this way, is how can I help you? And I like it better. And also what I like about it is kind of like I don't want to say authoritative, but you're establishing yourself as a leader right off the bat and saying, how can I help you? Because we've had this conversation in our group chat of like, you have to find the balance between being the leader and the best friend, because people don't pay their best friend to help them, but they will pay a leader and a mentor, right? So by doing this, you're opening up the conversation. You're saying, hey girl, like thanks for following me. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, blah, blah, blah. How can I help you? So you're finding it's a perfect balance between the best friend and the leader. And they're going to see you right off the bat, not as just someone who's trying to just dilly-dally and talk to them. And they're not going to feel like you're trying to like, oh, they're starting a conversation with me. When is she going to invite me? Like you're asking a question right off the bat. How can I better serve you? And I think it's amazing. So I'm really excited to give this a try. Cool. Is there anything else that you guys, I'll skim over the 5 points there. So it was how to improve invites to a challenge group. So number 1 is having a plan. Like when's your next group starting? What's it called? What's the program? Number 2 is who do you want in it? So who do you want to help and how? How will your group help them? And really tailoring your invites to like the goal that you are trying to help them achieve. And then I gave that example there of like how I'm going to start inviting going forward. So again, hey girl, it's July. What do you have planned this month? If I were to help align you to a meal plan and a workout plan to help you work on your goals without sacrificing living your life this summer, would you want to hold each other accountable for the next 30 days? So I'm excited to start trying that out too. Number 3 is you have to have belief. So belief in yourself as a leader that you can actually help people. Believe in these programs to help transform people and help transform you, and believe in Beachbody as a whole. Because if you're trying to like help recruit coaches, like you have to believe that coaching is actually something, you know? Number 4 is envision your avatar. So who are you talking to? who are you here to help? Like, who's that person that is struggling and dealing with the things that you were struggling with right before you found Beachbody? Number 5, squashing those objections right out of the gate. So start writing down and thinking back to any objections you have had yourself or any objections that you've gotten, and start talking about those on your post, on your story, and squash them right out of the gate and give people solutions, because it might take a few times of them watching and reading, but what you're doing is you are reinforcing that new behavior. It's like the same thing that happens when we read personal development books and we listen to podcasts. It changes our mindsets about things, right? So if you are talking about those objections and like basically saying they aren't valid, or at least giving people a way that they can overcome them, you're going to create that belief within them of, oh wait, maybe I can do this. Maybe that is just an excuse and I'm ready to drop the excuses and actually show up. And then the last thing is our challenge. So trying to get into 60 inboxes a day as best as you can. And I want to say, don't beat yourself if you don't make it all the way to 60, but at least try it. Do the best that you can, and just think of how awesome it'll be and what an accomplishment it'll be to actually say that you talked to 60 people that day. Like, that is huge. And if you're shooting for a goal like that, then you can never run out of people to talk to, at least. Like, and not all these have to be invites, right? They're just opening conversations, and then eventually you will have all of these people to send invites to. And if anything, opening up these conversations is going to be a way for you to figure out, like, yes, I want to work with this person, or also like, not my person. Like, you don't want to work with every single person that follows you or every single person you come into contact to. Like, prime example here of like staying in your lane and like calling out being strict on who you want to work with. So one of the new jobs that I have, it's called Fit Body Boot Camp. I see a lot of people coming in and out of there, and I tell people what I do as a Beachbody coach. Like, I don't hide it. I don't openly invite them to join, but I talk about it. It's what I do. And I've talked to my boss there, and he's like, that's fine. And so there's this one girl who she's about to leave the studio because she's moving, and she's like, I need something else to do. I'm setting up a home gym. And like, part of me was like, oh, sweet. Like, maybe I could talk to her. Like, this could be really great for her. But after just like maybe a handful of times of working with her and talking to her, I was like, I don't fucking want to work with this girl. She is so negative. She is like, she's just not. I know that coaching her would be hard. It would be exhausting. And I know that she would be I've done this long enough that I know she would be one of the people who would sign up, pay for everything, and not do anything. Because I just got that vibe from her that she was just not my person. And even one of the other ladies, like, as we were all talking in the group about her leaving, she's like, oh, there you go. She's like, you should work with her. You should coach her, Fran. And I'm like, yeah. No, like, you're not my type of people. So when you have these conversations, you're going to figure that out. And you're going to be able to, like, that is empowering in itself when you can refuse people. That's an exciting point in your business and in your self journey.
Yeah, I've done that with one of my cousins that I don't want to leave. And some girl I went to high school with that I just didn't, I just don't think it would be a good idea or a good fit. And yeah, I love that about this too, is we can pick who we want to work with and who will vibe great with our team.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Mike's it was so awkward. Mike's ex-girlfriend had reached out to me to like,
that's awkward.
And this was a girl that like shit talked me before I moved out, and like we got together. Like, I'm like, I know all the stuff you said behind my back. I kind of want to just take your money, but at the same time, like, I don't want to work with you. So I didn't give her any of my links. I just gave her the information to Beachbody On Demand, and I was like, here you go, girlfriend. So at least like I felt good steering her. She didn't sign up. I think she just wanted to like weasel her way into our life. But I was just like, no, I don't want to. Just because I'm a coach and I have the ability to help people doesn't mean I'm for everybody, because you're going to drain more energy and you're going to take the fun out of this for me. So no, I don't want to work with you.
It's like we have the right to refuse service.
Yeah, exactly. Like, no, thank you. Too funny. Okay. All right. I hope this is helpful for you guys. definitely like go back and if you, oh, perfect, you got the last 10 minutes to go here, but go back. I'll post a recording. If you missed the first little bit there, tune into it. But yeah, so let's take a picture here. So next Wednesday, we should still be able to do the call. I'll let you know because we're going to be driving back into Windsor. But I'll let you guys know if anything should change. Maybe I will have, maybe Steph, if you're around, you can host the call or something like that. We'll talk about that. I think that would be great. Okay, so let's take a picture. Cheese. Perfect. All the peace signs. Good. Awesome. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys so much. Have a good one. Mwah.